everybody? It's JT Sports. I'm back to you guys with another video. In this video, I'm going to be going over all of the Thursday night football games for the 2019 NFL season. Before I begin, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more NFL videos. I upload NFL videos and NFL content daily, so make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. Now, Thursday night football. I don't like it, simply for the fact that they failed to put entertaining games on a weekly freaking basis. I mean, last year we were watching the Denver Broncos beat the crap out of the Arizona Cardinals, and we were watching two of the worst teams in the NFL, the Oakland Raiders versus the San Francisco 49ers, two teams who at that point in the season were battling to see who will get a high NFL draft pick or who will get the number one overall pick. They need to do a lot better. I didn't even think these games were pointless. I mean, Thursday night football, really? Who wants to come home and watch football on a Thursday night? Friday night football would be a lot freaking better, and the name sounds better. And plus, it's a disadvantage to the players because they have a short week, don't really have a lot of time to rest or whatnot. But I really like the slate of games that they have this year for Thursday night football. So, week 1 this is the only game that's not going to be on NFL Network or Fox. Now, the Green Bay Packers versus the Chicago Bears, that's the kickoff game, the kickoff the season that is always on NBC. That's going to be a pretty entertaining game. Now, a lot of people weren't really happy that this game was chosen to be the kickoff game because it's the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. But I think that's going to be I really like that matchup. I think that's going to be pretty entertaining. And I'm eager to see how the new Green Bay Packers head coach, his new strategy, his new game plan. The first official game without Mike McCarthy is going to be very weird to see Mike McCarthy not on the sidelines for the Green Bay Packers. And the Chicago Bears, was last season just a one-season wonder, or are they really, really legit? Now, last time these teams played, Aaron Rodgers led the Green Bay Packers back against the Chicago Bears on one leg. It was very entertaining and very fun to watch. Now, week 2, this game is on NFL Network. I think these first couple of games until week 4 are all going to be on NFL Network. We had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Carolina Panthers. Two teams that had somewhat high expectations that started the season out fast and then folded, especially Carolina. They were 6-0, and then they got folded by the Pittsburgh Steelers on Thursday Night Football in a blowout. And they missed the playoffs after that. I believe they only won one game after that. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, under Bruce Arians, very high flying offense I'm expecting to see. But the very big question is defense. Now, I really like this matchup. I think this matchup will be very entertaining. And I think one of these two teams are going to end up in the playoffs next season. Week 3 had the Tennessee Titans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, normally when the Tennessee Titans and Jacksonville Jaguars play, a lot of people don't really care about it that much because these teams aren't really that good most of the time. Even though Tennessee was able to fight to the very end to get into the playoffs last year, but they missed out on that, losing to the Indianapolis Colts because Marcus Mariota was injured. Also expecting a big year out of him since this is his contract year. And Jacksonville Jaguars, they were banked up on that offensive line. Last time they played the Tennessee Titans, Derrick Henry went crazy. And he's the reason why I lost to the person I was playing, because this dude had a monster game, had over like 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. Dude had a monster game. Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be fully healthy on that offensive side of the ball. New offensive coordinator, Nick Foles, new quarterback, a legit quarterback now. Interesting to seeing how that game plays out. Week 4, Philadelphia Eagles versus the Green Bay Packers. This game is probably going to be very important because this is probably, I know it's going to be very on in the season, but early on, you want to establish a tone early on in the season. You want to win these big games like this because winning these big games, these big primetime games, gives you a lot of momentum going forward. Philadelphia Eagles at the Green Bay Packers. That should be a good game. Carson Wentz versus Aaron Rodgers. I think that's going to be a pretty good matchup. Week 5, the Los Angeles Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks. Divisional games. Now, the LA Rams have been good for the last couple of years. This game is probably going to be entertaining. I'm looking forward to Seattle Seahawks, seeing what they can do on the offensive side of the football and seeing if they can get some solid protection for Russell Wilson, because last year the pass blocking improved a lot. Well, the blocking as a whole improved a lot, but Russell Wilson, when he was playing at LA Rams, was still running for his life. So I'm eager to seeing how that plays out for the offensive line for the Seattle Seahawks going against a very good defensive line for the LA Rams. Week 6, we have the New York Giants versus the New England Patriots. This game doesn't have the mystique that it used to be, but people are still going to hype it up anyway, because you got to have some promotion or some propaganda to make people want to watch this game. We already know that the New York Giants are most likely not going to be that good this season. They're probably going to go 6-10 or 7-9. And at this point, it's pretty easy to say that looking at this game and how these two rosters stack on paper right now, even though the NFL draft hasn't began yet, but any player that the New York Giants draft isn't really going to make a difference. The New England Patriots, a lot of people can say, can win this game by just looking at it. But the New York Giants always put up a good fight against New England Patriots. And the last couple of times these teams have faced up, they don't really face up often besides those Super Bowl matches that they had back in 2008 and 2011, I believe it was. Those games were pretty entertaining. Especially when they play in the regular season. Was a game that they had on Fox a few years ago that was very, very interesting. I believe that New York Giants lost that game. It was 24-29, I believe it was. I think that's what it was. I can't remember, but that was a very, very entertaining game. Hope we get the same thing here. Week 7, Kansas City Chiefs versus Denver Broncos. Divisional matchup. Denver Broncos defense, Vic Fangio, defensive-minded guy. Interesting to seeing how his new defense is going to fare against the Kansas City Chiefs' explosive offense with Patrick Mahomes. That's going to be a very big test there. Week 8, we had the Washington Redskins versus the Minnesota Vikings. So Kirk Cousins facing his former team. Washington Redskins, we're either going to see Colt McCoy or Case Keenum, or whichever quarterback, if they draft one in the NFL draft, play against the Minnesota Vikings. San Francisco 49ers versus the Arizona Cardinals. Cliff Kingsbury versus, what's his name? Coach of the San Francisco 49ers. Jesus, I can't remember his name. It's going to come to me after this video, but I think this game is going to be a little bit interesting. Even if the Arizona Cardinals do or do not draft Kyler Murray and number 1 overall, this game is still going to be very entertaining in my opinion, because I'm expecting to see a high-scoring game with two innovative offensive minds. Cliff Kingsbury being an offensive-minded guy with this new air raid offense. San Francisco 49ers are going to have Jimmy Garoppolo back, plus a lot of big-name free agents that they signed. So I'm very interested in seeing this matchup. I know on paper it doesn't look very intriguing, but I mean, as a football lover, I'm very interested in seeing this, because the Arizona Cardinals, we're not really going to see a lot of them. They're probably not. This is probably going to be the only primetime game they have in front of a national audience. A lot of people aren't going to be able to see Cliff Kingsbury's new offense and whatnot. So I'm very interested in seeing this game just as a football fan. Week 10, we have the LA Chargers versus the Oakland Raiders. Don't really know if that game is going to be worth watching. Week 11, Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Cleveland Browns. This is probably the biggest game of Thursday Night Football the whole entire year, because this game, Week 11, you're starting to get into the playoff fold. Two teams competing for a playoff spot, competing to see who's going to be number 1 in the division. The Cleveland Browns are the heavy favorite to win the division. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers, who a lot of people are counting out, who are actually underdogs for the first time in a couple of years when it comes to this division stuff. So this is a very, very big game. And the Cleveland Browns are actually, last year, people were like, the Pittsburgh Steelers, you guys really tied with the Browns. This year, nobody's really going to be saying that. The Cleveland Browns have a lot of firepower, and I'm very interested in seeing how this game folds out. Week 12, we had the Indianapolis Colts versus the Houston Texans, AFC South matchup that's probably going to be determined who is going to be the number one team in the AFC South at that point in the season. Week 13, they don't have a game. Last 2 weeks, Week 14, Dallas Cowboys versus the Chicago Bears. A good offensive line versus a good defensive line. Week 15, we had the New York Jets versus the Baltimore Ravens. New York Jets are very, very improved. I still don't really think they would do that much this coming season, but this game is going to be very interesting. I'm going to watch it just because I love Lamar Jackson. So this is it for the Thursday night football games for the 2019 NFL season. You guys let me know what you guys think about them down in the comment section down below. Which games are you interested in watching? Which games do you not care so much for? And also make sure to like the video and subscribe for more NFL videos and content. Thanks for watching.